Welcome in to another edition of The Walkthrough. Your hosts, Austin Watley and Brant King, are here to break down all the action. Each week, we bring you exclusive coach and player interviews, in-depth coverage, and expert analysis you won't find anywhere else. From the latest highlights to the stories behind the game, this is The Walkthrough.
Good evening and welcome in to another edition of The Walkthrough. Austin Watley here along with Brant King, and we have in-house offensive coordinator Whitney McCartney going to join us tonight in place of head coach Jay Rowart. We'll interview Coach McCartney. It is season 2, episode 12, first round of the playoffs, but the Giants have a bye this week. So we got lots to talk about as far as playoffs and last week's game, kind of recap the season and get you ready for the playoffs. But to start, we're going to get to talk to offensive coordinator Whitney McCartney. We were going to talk to him last week and had to delay that a week, but we are really excited to have you in here. And now the reason you're here is, wasn't it before school started, you said that if y'all beat Bunkie, you would do this, correct?
That was an alleged statement, but yeah, I will go. We'll go with it.
So that's how we got him in here. But we're really happy to have him here tonight. How's practice been going this week? You got a bye week. You don't have a game, but still a very important week as far as preparing for the playoffs.
Yeah, you get to get back to fundamentals and you get to heal up a little bit, So I think for us, it's all about getting back to good old fashioned blocking and tackling and carrying out fakes and, execution, just getting back to brush up on the little things.
Now, Coach, one difference we've seen in the last couple of weeks is you guys went on the road to Bunkie. Now, one of our coaches had to miss that game, and traditionally you're in the press box calling the plays. Well, you transitioned to the field, and we've seen you on the field for the last couple of weeks. Kind of talk about that, how much difference that makes being on the field.
Yeah, Coach Fink wasn't, a few months ago, he wasn't real sure if he was going to get to coach. He'd gotten out of the teaching aspect of it and thought he was going to be full-time in another job and not be able to help signal plays. Well, he had already planned to go to a wedding, be in a wedding. Well, that wedding got changed from a Saturday night to a Friday night because of the weather. And he just said, nothing he could do about it. Couldn't get out. So no big deal, right? So I came down and signaled in the plays and told Coach Roark, said, now if we win this game, I can't go back up.
That's right.
So not because me being down there is that big a deal, but I guess it's because all us coaches live with superstition. But now that I was down there, though, getting to get under the tent after every series, getting them all together, hey, here's what's going on. Let's fix it. Let's adjust. Let's do this. Or sometimes you just need to get under there and pick them up. And sometimes you get them under there and tone them down a little bit. So it's with a little bit of an adjustment. I used to call plays on sideline before and then got here and got upstairs. Obviously, upstairs, you see so much more that's going on. But when you want to get in a kid's face, you can't get in, you can't yell through the microphone loud enough. So it's half a dozen here and whatever the other. So, but it's worked out good. I like it.
Seems like it'd make a big difference. Kind of you get to look a kid in the eyes and see what their mentality is, and you're not having to relay information through another coach to a kid. You can actually talk to that kid.
Absolutely.
For people sitting at home who are wondering, well, why would you want to sit up in a room or in a box or be on the field? So the biggest reason that you go up and maybe sit in a press box or something is because you get to see more. You can see the field a little bit better as far as calling plays.
Yeah, well, Austin, you've called plays as long as I have. When you're on the field, there's sometimes you just can't see over what that other corner's doing, or sometimes I can't see if the safety's rotating down, or the front. Sometimes I can see one side of the formation. Just like I say, for me, being up there and looking down, you're just able to see the whole picture maybe at once. Whereas when you're on the ground, you kind of only limited to that spot. However, for us, Coach Derek White has 30-something years of experience, and so he's went back up. And so when he's up there, if he's telling me this or telling me that, well, that eases my conscience, knowing, okay, well, they're doing this, doing that. And when you got a coach that's been doing it as long as he has and knows how much he knows, I'm going to listen. So
Yeah.
it's worked out good.
Well, and I've heard guys say too, being in the box, you maybe can control your emotions a little bit better. Like you're not on the sidelines where everybody's going crazy. It's a lot going on in a box, calling plays. You can stay calm, stay on your script, what you want to do. Is that a factor as well, or?
Well, you sat across there. Sometimes I don't keep my temper as well. There's a desk up there that's been fixed twice because of it. Yeah, sometimes I think you can.
Maybe more
a
of the
big
pressure.
play happen. Well, say a bad play happens, it doesn't do me any good to get up there and start. Hey, don't do this, do that. I kind of just go to the next play.
Yeah, yeah.
Get on the huddle and go. All right, let's fix it. This, that, and the other. Whereas when you're on the field and you see the play mess up, you know who messes up. They hear you right then.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your differences with it.
Yeah. One of the biggest reasons for offensive success this season, I mean, the offense has just been incredible this year, averaging 52 points a game, way more than any team in school history. What's one of the biggest reasons you think for the success this year?
This weekend I got to do something I've never done as a head coach. I got to sit back for about half a day and just look back over the whole season. And something I've never done here. In 15 we came in, we went undefeated. And one of the things we never did, and Coach Dorton is one that talks about this a lot, the old saying of, stop, smell the roses. And we never enjoyed it. It was next week, the next week, the next week. I told myself Saturday, I said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch from Mangum game and just watch games, how we got here. And I'm going to tell you, it was great to look back and recollect. And if I could sum this up to now to week 11, the catalyst for what our offense is doing this year starts with our quarterback. That old saying people say, well, he's twice as good this year as he was last year. And they really weren't. Deuce McPherson is twice as good as he was a year ago. And he is throwing the ball more consistent. He's running the option more consistent. And he's being the quarterback twice as consistent as he was a year ago. Deuce's biggest problem is Deuce. When he messes up, he gets on himself too hard. But he has come out, and I am more than pleased at how well he's thrown the ball, how well he has took care of the football, which is huge. And then you got to go to the offensive line. You got one of the best blocking tight ends in Cale Parker. You go from him all the way to the other tight end, Adrian Sharp, who got hurt last year, had a great offseason, came back. So now we're able to get in a two tight end set 80% of the time. And there ain't a defensive coordinator in the state of Louisiana that goes, oh, I love a two tight end set. No, they all hate it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot they have to do to adjust to that. And then you have, our kind of our quarterback of the O-line, Luke Smith, 137 pounds of him, I think, or maybe 140. He may be 140 now. But no, you got Cruz Humphreys, who's one of the quickest offensive linemen I've ever coached and smart. Malik Wilson, who started last year as a sophomore like Cruz, got that experience, been a great starter for us, very, very consistent play. And then when the season started, we started out with Keelan Dean at left tackle, and sophomore Levi Hammock came in. And Levi, the first couple games, kind of struggled first year to have to play, learning the speed of it. But I tell you what, the most, without a doubt, the offensive lineman who's gotten more better week after week after week has been Levi. And then finally, Zy Hunter, after hurting both knees, both hips, both whatever, and he's chuckling right now because he knows I'm talking about whatever he's eating. He comes and ends up starting at left tackle in Menard game when Keelan Dean went down.
Not Zy Hunter, Zy Harrison.
Zy Harrison, sorry.
Yeah.
Not Zy Hunter. Yeah, and he's going to laugh about that. He don't even know my name. But Zy Harrison came in the Menard game and has basically started every game since.
Yeah.
And he's 370 pounds, and I've given up him losing it. I ain't worried about that because he can take 370 and move.
Yeah.
But you take that offensive line or quarterback play, and then look, I ain't got to say nothing about them two bulls in the backfield, man. Sed and Baby D are what they are, and that's why they get the ball fed to them. Then the emergence of Zadrian Cooper on the outside, and now you take that with the consistency of the quarterback, the consistency of the O-line. You got two dudes that can go score at any time. Now you add a receiver who can do it, and now you put defenses in a peril the entire time. They're constantly going, do you load up for the run? Do you stay back for the pass? Do you do this? Do you do that? And I just accredit it to what these guys started in January in the weight room, and we took it the whole off season. We took it the whole summer, and had the bumps in the roads. We had some bad plays here and there, that and the other, but I credit it all to that. Why we are where we are.
Yeah, you talk about the two tailbacks. I mean, 2 straight seasons over 1,000 yards. 2 guys. I mean, both of them make it. Cedric's over 1,500 right now, but it looks like Daniel's probably going to get 1,500 before the season's over. Just talk a little bit about the 2 tailbacks.
Well, they're a 1-2 punch. Both are physical. Both run really hard. I love when they get good and fired up and they start wanting to break tackles and not let one guy tackle you. And that's one of the sayings I say to them every week. Don't let one man be the guy tackle you. Make it be 2, 3, 4, and 5. Of course, the biggest thing we preach every Thursday, and I say 2 questions to them. Number 1, what's the most important thing on the field? The ball. That's the ball. You protect the football and end every possession with a kick. Now you're doing it right. Yeah. Now, whether that kick may be a punt, that's okay. It's not an interception. It's not a fumble. But end every possession with a kick. That if it ain't a punt, it's going to be a kickoff to the other team. Second is, how good do we want to be? How good do we want to be? And I can't, I told them after practice tonight, I don't get to slow down enough and tell them how proud I am. Yeah. Now, this is a great feat. Mm-hmm. You go back to the Mangum game, and y'all know this, like a year ago, we wouldn't have won that.
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't have the resiliency, top to bottom, offense, defense, specialty, to win that type of game a year ago. And so we're sitting there just slug. It's like it's a boxing match, 2 heavyweight fighters punching back and back. And we look up in the end. We're 8 touchdowns, 8 2-point conversions, got 64 points on Mangum, who's pretty dang good.
Yeah, good team.
So that's kind of been where we started and where we've built from there.
I'll always remember this. Your first year here, we were in service for high school, for school in August. And I asked you how you thought the team would do in 2015. And you said y'all were going to go undefeated. You felt like y'all were that good. The schedule lined up perfectly. And I remember questioning you, saying, we've never done that before. Gina does not do that. Yeah. But you caught it, and we did. But talk about the difference between when you first got here and the program now, from then to now, just how things are different from that point.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to tell you about that 2015 team, that senior class. I got there midsummer. And Coach Roark, when my third rig was getting stacked and H&P was laying all of us off, and they said, you got to go to work in New Mexico. I called Jay out of nowhere. Said, all right, you don't happen to have an opening, do you? He goes, well, don't sit here and BS me now. Are you asking for sure? I said, yeah. He said, I do. I got a spot right now. So sign me up. I'm on my way home. I got there midsummer, and Big Buckner was the defensive end. Mm-hmm. And Coach said, look, bring in the weight room you do, and you're gonna run the offense, and I want to do what you've done it when I was at Franklin Parish previously. And I said, all right. And we came in, and that group went to work. I'm going to tell you, and 2 of my favorite guys till this day, Jordan Mitchell and Joe Knight, 2 of the hardest working players I think I've ever coached. And that first scrimmage, man, those kids played so hard, and we had those ugly Adidas, heavy Adidas jerseys. We were in the old field house that never was cold or warm in the wintertime. And we had that weight room that was a little bit bigger than this room right here. Yeah. And you got in there and you grinded, and you just went to work. And those kids, man, they believed. And, we beat Tioga in that first game. Mm-hmm. Dre, and I remember Lamar having a huge game. Mm-hmm. And it just built and built and built and built. And I really felt like when we went to Marksville that year, we had the big game and beat them. And then all of a sudden we make the big, huge play against Peabody. Yep. Jordan Mitchell picks off the pass and goes in the end zone. I remember telling Jay a few years ago, I said, I think that's when it all changed. Yeah. Like, I think that's when it all turned over.
Yeah.
And you went from being Gina of let's get them for homecoming, because that's what we were, right. You go from being that to being now, well, Coach, we're going to have to get somebody else on the schedule. Well, Coach, we're going to have to do this. And then, of course, you just talk facilities overall. I mean, where we were field house wise, what we have now, one of the best in the state. You talk about stadium upgrades and the things we've gotten there, our weight room. I get the blessing of being able to train these kids year round, and we have the best weight room equipment you can get in the country. You can't get it any better than what we have. We have the best stuff in there. And like a coach said at an old strength conditioning clinic I went to in 2009, he said, we can talk about all the weights you lift here, things you do there, this, that, and the other, this offense, this defense, all of a sudden, this whole saying that the proof's in the pudding. And that's kind of what we hang our hat on, is what we've done for 10 years works, you know, and this group right here is one of those groups that, to me, I think just bought in a little more.
Okay.
And they're a good group of kids. I could talk about that for hours, but yeah, the biggest changes have been obviously our facilities, places we're at also. But Coach, I got to say this while I have a chance. A lot of people don't understand this, Coach Watley, but a lot of our success comes from you, and comes from what you do at our junior high. And that's probably the biggest deal, because in 15, y'all had only been doing it a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're looking back, now you've been doing it over 10. And the fact that you get kids in there and you do the weights and you do the same offense and a lot of the similar defensive stuff, there's a lot of credit needs to go to you over that too, because there's a lot of places don't have that.
That's right.
And a lot of people don't understand how important that is.
Yeah, just talk about, you know, coming from the junior high, and when a kid steps on the field as a freshman, you know, they're ready to go. And we see a lot more of that over the years. I mean, used to back in the day, you never seen a freshman step on the field. But now, you know, running the same offense at the junior high level, doing the same things, just translates to the high school field.
No doubt. No doubt.
What is your thoughts on where y'all are at in the playoffs and the road ahead as far as the playoffs?
Well, I love our draw, not because we fear the people we would have to play, but you have a Sterlington and a St. James on the other side of the bracket, and that's obvious deal, because they're good football teams. You know, I'll be honest, you look at other teams and, you know, do we want to play them? Do we want to play them? And I think I've just gotten to the point where I don't really care who we play. I just want us to play our best.
Yeah.
And something we talk about to the kids a lot of times before the games is, look, it doesn't matter who's over there. It matters what we do over here.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. It's what we do over here that matters a lot more than what's going on the other side. We could have a worse playoff pick, you know. I like I say, I like where we're lined up. I feel like it's in our hands to go take care of it.
You got anything else?
Man, it's been a great job.
I mean, we could sit here all night, but
Absolutely.
I know you got to get home. But really appreciate you joining us tonight, and we're excited about it. We're really looking forward to the next few weeks, and good luck in the playoffs.
Man, I appreciate it.
Yep.
And thank y'all for what y'all do on this show too, Austin. Y'all don't get enough pat on the back for it, but this is a great thing. A lot of schools around the state don't get. And I'm glad our kids get to grow up with this stuff right here.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We'll take a break right here. You listen to the walkthrough on 1.7 KJNA.
Justice Oil Company salutes the young men and women who put in long hours in search for athletic supremacy. Justice Oil has been a long supporter of high school athletes in LaSalle Parish, as well as the Tigers of LSU. Take the time to show your appreciation by attending sporting events to root on your teams. Student athletes appreciate the time you take to attend their events. Wishing you the best in the future, on and off the field, from Justice Oil Company.
Louisiana is strong. It's hard work and determination. It's never giving up. It's being there for family, friends, and neighbors because you gave them your word. It's celebrating life's good times and standing tall when times are tough. You call this great state home, and so do we. We're headquartered here with a presence in every parish to better serve you. We're Louisiana's insurance company, Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Hi, I'm Cliff Smith with CLB, the Community Bank. With 20 years of banking experience, I have seen many changes, but one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to help customers with all their financial needs. CLB, the Community Bank, is here to help you, whether it's to open an account, online banking setup, credit card application, home mortgage, consumer, or commercial loan. If you're looking for personal service with real care, come by and see us at CLB The Community Bank, 2349 North 1st Street, Gina, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Looking for a place to connect and grow? Join us at Eastview Baptist Church, where everyone is welcome. Tune in here to listen to worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30, or come join us in person for Sunday school at 9:45 and worship at 10:45. Eastview, where we seek the kingdom first.
For Stroff on the post, and he has it. He's in a touchdown. What a catch by Adrian Sharp.
Welcome back into the first call of the week. Touchdown pass from Deuce McPherson to Adrian Sharp. Adrian made a great play going up, getting the ball, and I think he hit the safety going into the end zone, but took a good hit and held on to the football. Good catch in traffic. Big touchdown play there in the win over Buckeye. Now we're going to have our two players join us. And Cash, I didn't realize y'all were locked out there. Y'all couldn't get in the door?
Yeah, I couldn't get in.
I'm just now seeing the messages. Yeah, they say y'all are locked out. But we got them in here. Cash Richardson and Parker Durham. Cash, outside linebacker. Or I guess you played middle and outside this year.
Linebacker in general, I guess.
Yeah, just linebacker, Cash Richardson. And defensive lineman Parker Durham, because Parker, even do you rotate around on that D line like in different spots, or you just stay in? Yeah. But defense, man, y'all had a shutout against Buckeye. Both of y'all played well. Cash, you ended up with 4 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Parker had 4 tackles, had a tackle for loss and a sack. Both of y'all should kind of talk about the Buckeye game, kind of what was working for y'all, and why you think y'all had such a good game in that game. You go, Parker.
In the Buckeye game, we had we was running Cobra. It was our base front, and just squeezing the tackles and the guards and just hitting our gaps.
Yeah, I just think that we had a good game in general because it was our last final season game for our seniors and stuff, and everybody just wanted to play together and as one and stuff.
Cash, do you feel like on defense things are getting you got a lot of new starters, a lot of guys that are starting for the first time. It's getting easier for y'all?
Yeah, I think it's getting easier. We got a lot of young people on our defense, but we're finally playing together, coming together, and understanding each other, communicating. That's our number one thing that we talk about at football. It's just communication is key, and we're finally locking in and understanding each other.
Parker, talk a little bit about what the week's been like, not having a game this week, having a bye week.
Well, at practice, we're just doing a lot of endo, like our position coaches. Like for D-line, we're just doing a lot of making our small errors, like our technique errors, just correcting them and just trying to get better as a player. But also we're doing some special team stuff, trying to correct our special teams and making it as best as it can be.
Cash, what's been different this week than a normal week when you have a game?
Well, we don't have a team to prepare for yet, so we don't know who we're going against, but we're just working on ourselves and just trying to get better for each other.
And y'all had a couple of days off where y'all could kind of get some rest.
Saturday, Monday, and potentially Friday off. So we got a short period of time to practice, but we just got to lock in and get through it.
Can you tell? I mean, I know y'all are young. You don't feel like us old men, but can you tell when you have a week where you don't have as much practice, your body feeling more fresh?
It's a lot more rest. I feel a lot better than I have this whole entire past 10 weeks. So.
Yeah. Parker, what's your mindset going into the playoffs? You know you're the number 1 seed. You know that what teams are ahead of you. What's your thought process? What's it going to take to get to the Dome?
I think we're just going to have to come together as a group and play as the best as our ability, and just have to, like Coach Rourke said, all season, just finish every rep, finish every play, and just come together.
What about you, Cash?
Yeah, I agree with him. We just got to finish each rep. We can't be selfish. Can't go and do stupid things. We have a lot of penalties we've had on both sides of the offense and defense this year, and we just got to clean all that up. And we're starting 0-0. That's what I like to think. 0-0 starting playoffs. So.
And I know this week you don't have a game, but it's in the playoffs. To win a state championship, you got to win 5 games. Y'all will have to win 4 because you don't have a game this week. I look at it as you got 5 weeks. 5 weeks. How do you stay locked in, not only on the field during practice, but also when you go home, when there's other distractions around, and how do you stay locked in to stay out of trouble, keep your mind on the goal for those 5 weeks?
It's really just about if you want it bad enough. And I think everybody on our team wants it bad enough. Like, this is our year.
Parker?
With the past 2 seasons with us just getting real close, I think that us as a team are very hungry. And I think I speak for everybody. We're very appreciative of being able to have a first round bye and have the layout that we do because we don't have St. James or Sterlington on our side of the bracket. So I think we're very appreciative.
And like you said, y'all been that close.
Yes, sir.
So you have that drive of you want to get past that point.
Yes, sir.
You got anything else?
All good.
Anything else you want to talk about? Or I did want to say a while ago, Parker, y'all rotate a lot of D linemen in. Does that keep you fresh during the game where you're going hard a couple of plays and then somebody comes in and gets you, gives you time to catch your breath? You like that?
I mean, we condition so good that I think
you don't need a break.
We don't need a break, but it does help. The only bad part about it is when you're going against the guy, you pick up things about him. So like when you get taken out, you're not really having as much of a chance to learn how to beat him in the rep. So that's the only bad part I would say about all the rotation.
It kind of throws you off your routine, your rhythm, yeah. We really appreciate you guys being here tonight, and we're proud of all y'all's hard work and excited about what y'all have in store for us the next couple of weeks, and good luck in the playoffs, and we're excited to watch y'all. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work. Stay locked in, guys.
We'll take a break right here. Listen to the walkthrough on 1.7 KJNA.
Justice Oil Company salutes the young men and women who put in long hours in search for athletic supremacy. Justice Oil has been a long supporter of high school athletes in LaSalle Parish, as well as the Tigers of LSU. Take the time to show your appreciation by attending sporting events to root on your teams. Student athletes appreciate the time you take to attend their events. Wishing you the best in the future, on and off the field, from Justice Oil Company.
When you need an expert, you call one, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, or your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. There's one in every parish to help you protect what's important to you and your family, because protecting the people of Louisiana is what's important to us. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. Visit lafarmbureau.com to find a local agent and ask for a quick auto, home, or life insurance quote. That's lafarmbureau.com. Make contact with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent today.
Looking for a bank that truly understands the communities they serve? CLB, the community bank, has you covered. They offer a wide range of services from top-tier interest rates on checking accounts and CDs to the latest in online, digital, and mobile banking. What makes CLB the community bank the go-to choice for all your banking needs is the convenience of managing finances from anywhere, anytime. Visit their website or one of 7 branches today. CLB, the community bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Looking for a place to connect and grow? Join us at Eastview Baptist Church, where everyone is welcome. Tune in here to listen to worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30, or come join us in person for Sunday school at 9:45 and worship at 10:45. Eastview, where we seek the kingdom first.
Center to drop back. Going deep for Cooper down the near side, and Cooper will have the catch, and he'll go in with a touchdown. Boy, they made that look easy. 46-yard touchdown pass. Deuce McPherson is Adrian Cooper.
Our second call of the week, Deuce McPherson is Adrian Cooper for the touchdown. That was actually the first touchdown pass of the night for Deuce McPherson, who finished 4 of 4 for 129 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was also player of the week. We now want to welcome in our special guest, the one and only Clay Parker from K104 Friday Night Scoreboard Show. Clay, you there?
I'm here, fellas. How are y'all?
We're good, man. It's playoff
Good,
time. It's
Clark.
our favorite time of the year. How's it going?
Man, it's going great. Just like you said, a favorite time of the year. We got some cooler weather, and of course, playoff action cranks up Friday night.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the time change. I'd rather it stay daylight longer, but when it does change and it's getting dark and those lights come on, it's starting to get playoff time.
You're right. You're right about that. I agree with you there. I'm not a big fan either, but it does make the football night start a little earlier and a little bit more exciting, I think.
Well, you guys, I know y'all have had a great time up there in Monroe. District 25A, one of the craziest seasons we've ever seen. How fun was it covering District 25A this season?
Man, it's been great, and I hope it continues for 4 or 5 more weeks, to be honest. But it's been great. You know, we came into the season expecting it to be good. You know, obviously we had heard rumors that Neville may be falling down to 2-4A, which looks like it's going to happen. And we weren't really sure about Ruston. They lost so much talent from last year. You know, they had an embarrassing dome loss. We just didn't know quite what to expect with them. We felt good about West Monroe. Obviously, Ash is, and Coach Bachman's had a great program down there. We figured Neville would be pretty good, but you never really know how it would play out. And Ouachita as well. We felt Ouachita would be strong, but you just don't know until the season gets going. And as the season got going, and we saw West Monroe knocking off Catholic and Ouachita knocking off Sterlington and Ruston beating some of these Texas teams, we're like, we have something special this year.
Yeah, the Neville Tigers, of course, dealt with some injuries early on in the season. I think it seems like they're getting healthy again, ready to make a run.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've really played well these last few weeks. I mean, obviously they beat West Monroe. We were at that game of the week, and then last week the impressive win over Ash. Mike Collins and that staff have done a great job, and they I think they're the favorite, obviously the 2 seed, the favorite to come off that side of the bracket. But it won't be an easy road, especially with West Monroe hanging around.
Yeah, you kind of talked about it. I kind of hate that the Neville Tigers are leaving 2-5A going down to 4A next year. I know the schedule gets a little easier for them, you know, but you got to be still disappointed. You know, you want the best, play the best teams each and every week, so they kind of got to be a little upset about moving down to 4A.
Yeah, it is, and I think obviously their numbers came down a little bit lower, and I think it's better for their school, for the program, for other sports. I think they struggle to compete in certain sports in 5A, but you're right. In football, they're as good as anybody. It's a little disappointing. I think they're going to continue to play Ruston and West Monroe and Ouachita. It just won't be a district game, and but we'll miss them, and that's kind of what made this year even more special. Is we've got all these programs at really good levels. Even Pineville's not a bad team, and they made the playoffs. But these other 5 programs are all teams I think could go all the way.
Yeah, even Ouachita. I felt like every week we felt bad for Coach Lewis and Ouachita. They would just come up just short. But I mean, they're a team that's very talented that could pull off some upsets.
They certainly are. I mean, they've got the size up front. They've got the speed in the backfield. They obviously got Santa Maria this week. If they win this week, which we expect them to, they go to Destrehan. And to me, that's the key. If they can somehow knock off Destrehan, they're certainly capable of it. You know, they have a common opponent with Ash, and I think Ash beat both teams by like a touchdown. So if Ouachita can go down there and beat Ash, which I definitely think they can, they could go all the way to the semi. I mean, they could go all the way to the dome, really. I mean, that's the big test for them. And they obviously need a good start Friday night to set up for that win, for that matchup, I should say.
Let's move to Division III non-select. Union Parish and Sterlington played in Week 10. Always a great rivalry there. And for us here in Gina, it's always kind of a good measuring stick. We watch that game to try to see, okay, how good are these teams going to the playoffs? Did you get a chance to watch that game, and what were your thoughts about Union and Sterlington?
I didn't go to the game. I watched it on the Panther Network. About what I expected. I mean, Union's down a little bit this year. They have a young offensive line, and Sterlington is probably as good as they've ever been. I mean, we've interviewed Coach Doty a couple times, and I mean, he's even said, he goes, I think we're further along this year than we were last year. Well, guess what? They won state championship last year, so they're going to be a very dangerous team. They're my favorite right now to win. Obviously, Division 3. But Union is coming around. I mean, it's not going to be easy just because they have their numbers are down across the offensive line, the age, experience across the offensive line. But they've got, Javion Henderson's a good back, and their quarterback can run and throw. They've got A couple good defensive players to keep an eye on. Number 15, Hambrick is a really good linebacker. Slocum, if you get a chance to see him play, he's an Arkansas commit. They played him across off the line. Now they're moving him. Their line is a lot healthier now, so they moved him to tight end. So he had a big catch, and they've got a good kicker. I think Union Parish can win some games in the playoffs. I don't know if they're quite strong enough to get back to New Orleans, though.
I've learned when people say that Union Parish is down, I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
As long as Coach Pat's there, I'm
right.
worried about Union Parish, and they're on our side of the bracket, so it would not surprise me to see them win a couple games and make a run. It always happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you can't overlook Union Parish. You know, we've seen what they've done year in, year out. They're going to be a dangerous team. Like I said, they're just down a little bit. They've improved over the season, but not quite to the level that obviously you saw against Sterlington. They're not quite able to hang with the Sterlington and the St. Jameses of the world. But, you know, they're going to have – they beat Rayville Friday, which I expect them to. They'll have Erath, who's undefeated. It'll be on the road. And, of course, if they win that, they'll have Kinder. So they're about to get tested. I say Kinder, likely Kinder. They're likely to get tested by potentially two undefeated teams if they can get it going. So we'll find out real quick if they're strong enough to make it to the semifinals this year.
Talk a little bit about Franklin Parish. Them guys loaded with D1 talent over there. Do they have a great opportunity to make it to the Dome this year?
Yeah, I think they do. Obviously, they'll have to face Iowa, who beat them. I say that. You know, I'm projecting, looking long term. They may have to face Iowa deep in the playoffs, and they're the defending state runner-ups there. But they have so many weapons. They're healthy now. I guess what they did to Tioga this last Friday was super impressive. You know, they've got Trey Martin and Desiree Ellis playing some on defense in these big games. And their defense is, I mean, very good. I mean, they had some issues early on, but it seems like they're starting to get it together. I mean, Chris Addison and Tavon Bell on the ends. They've got a couple of big defensive tackles up front. And I can see Franklin Parish making a run. I certainly hope they do, because Adrian Burnett's done a great job with that program. And they've got some good underclassmen this year. I mean, Martin's only a junior. Karan Jones is a sophomore. They have some good younger players too, but obviously with Desiree Ellis at quarterback, Malik Credit wide receiver, and of course those two defensive ends were seniors. So this is our best chance to get to the Dome, I guess, you know, since they've been Franklin Parish.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive this past Friday, putting up 61 points on Tioga. Of course, we played Tioga, and they defeated us during the season. That was a good quality Tioga team, a good offensive power there at Tioga.
Yeah, what they did on defense has really impressed me. You know, they put Ellis against their that star receiver, and he did a pretty good job. In fact, he had a pick six, which, you know, he's going to LSU to play cornerback, which it's pretty interesting to see how many teams have a quarterback that they can throw on defensive back and guard one of the top receivers in the country. But Desmond Ellis can do that, and like I said, I think they definitely have a chance to go to the Dome, and I would love to see them get there.
Yeah, Friday night we got done early against Buckeye, and on my way home, I was able to listen to y'all's show, and y'all had Coach Burnett on, and he was talking. Y'all asked him about having some of his guys go both ways, and to me, if those talented guys are playing both ways, and they're by the time you get to this point of the year, you're in shape to do that. But if they're doing that now, I really like Franklin Parish, and I like the chance they're having. And Coach Burnett's done a great job over there.
Yeah, he does. He's put down a great staff. I mean, Coach Boxley has done a really good job with their, building their defense over the years. That's what impressed me the most, Brian. They held Tioga to 22 points. I knew they were capable of scoring 60 against just about anybody, but to hold that Tioga Indian squad, who had scored, I think, 45 points or more in 7 straight games, and they held, including against you guys, and they held them, or I say you guys, Gina, and they held them to 22 points. I was like, wow, they're peaking at the right time.
Oh, yeah. Well, how many teams from Northeast Louisiana do you think could make it to the Dome this year?
So I was looking at this earlier today, and obviously I'm not going to count Haynesville. They're kind of on the perimeter, more Shreveport area. I think there's up to 7 that could make it, up to 7 spots. I mean, more than likely it's going to be 4 or 5. Obviously, I think Sterlington has the best chance. I think Ruston has got a great chance. Mangum, they'll have South Platte in the semis, but I like the Dragons this year. I think Gina has a good shot. I mean, y'all may have to roll against Erath, Kinder, or Union Parish, and that'll be tough. But, I mean, I think the Giants have a good chance. The Neville West Monroe winner, which, like I said, right now I'd probably pick Neville just because they've already beaten them. But the winner of that game, of course, they'll have to go through Destrehan or potentially Ouachita in the semis. But I would say the winner of Neville West Monroe has a good chance to go. Franklin Parish, I just mentioned. And OCS, you can't rule out the Eagles. That loss in week 10 last Thursday against Oak Grove was tough because it knocked them down a little bit. They're going to have to go through Southern Lab and Riverside. But Stephen Fishy does a great job. Him and his staff, I mean, they've been together for 15, 20 years, almost the whole staff. And they're one of the best staffs in the state. So I think that's 7 programs that I think could make it to the Dome. More than likely, you know how it goes. We'll lose 2 or 3 along the way. So I'd say 5 if I have to pick a number, but I think it could be up to 7. And, you know, who knows, maybe somebody else that I didn't mention can pull some upsets off and run the table.
Do you have any upset picks in the first round?
I'm going to take Wassman. I think Wassman, they had a forfeit loss a couple weeks ago against Bastrop for an eligible player, and it fell to 21 in the power rankings. And they've got Minden. Of course, they beat Minden last year in the playoffs. I think it was the first or second round, 26-11. I just think DRS has done a good job there. They've got a very good quarterback and a good running back, Griffin, really fast. And I think I can see Wassman winning that game. And, of course, our game of the week is Cedar Creek and St. Fred's. It's a 19 versus a 14. I could see Cedar Creek. I think St. Fred's is probably a 6-point favorite, but I could see Cedar Creek going in there and knocking off the Warriors too.
Yeah, I've seen that Wassman pick be a popular pick, and like you said, they beat Minden last year, so that's one as well. I keep looking at Caldwell Richwood. There's a lot of familiarity there between the two teams, but I just think Richwood is much improved, and I'm not sure. It's a short trip for Caldwell, but I'm not sure if Caldwell can pull that off. But I think it's going to be a good game there.
You know, they played each other in the first round. This is like the 3rd time in like 6 years or something they played. Caldwell and Richwood played in the first round or the second round of the playoffs. It's kind of weird. And then, like you said, they're not that far apart, up 165. And I think Cleo Head's done a good job with Caldwell this year. Their record may not indicate it as much because they have a pretty tough schedule, and they've come close a couple times. But I think Richwood's just playing at a really high level right now. Bakari Geist has totally turned that program around. I think they've won like 4 or 5 games in a row here. And they look good. I mean, Carroll is not bad. They beat Carroll handily last week. And their quarterback, Trey Lane, is an outstanding player. You know, he's a superstar basketball player, and he's choosing to play football. And I mean, he's a college recruit type player, but he wants to play basketball, play football rather than do it well. So, yeah, Richwood, they've got a couple really good players on defense. Marcus Van Buren, he's averaging 10, 12 tackles a game. I just think Richwood's going to be a little bit too much for Caldwell.
Where will y'all be at on Friday night? What's y'all's game of the week this week?
We're going to St. Frederick's. There's not, we obviously are trying to focus on 2 local squads, and we're going to go over to St. Fred's. Cedar Creek coming in town. We talk about the job Bakari Geist has done. Jacob Angevine has done very similar. They were 1-9 last year. They won 6 games already this year. And he really hasn't done a lot of personnel changes. It's just the guys have gotten older, and he's really worked with them. We're going to be hit.
What about O'Neill's health for St. Fred?
I think he's going to be fine. Yeah, I think he's. I haven't talked to his dad any this week, but I think he played a little bit last week, and I think he's going to be close to 100% to go. Obviously he came in that game against General Trask a couple of weeks ago and had a great game there. And of course they fell a little bit short against the Delta Charter last week, but Delta Charter is another team that I kind of put them down as a possible upset there. I think they're at 18 seed going to 15. St. Martin's Episcopal. I could see them knocking off Blake Willard. His staff has done a good job. But anyway, getting back to your question, we're going to be at Chippewa Stadium and looking forward to a great matchup. Tony Osborne's first year as head coach for the Warriors, and should be a great atmosphere.
I agree on the Delta Charter. I have that game too as one. I think Delta Charter can pull the upset on that one. I think somebody said on y'all's show Friday night when I was coming home, but it is awesome that y'all are on 101.9 where we can hear the show now. Because last year we would have never been able to hear y'all.
We were in DeVille and heard you guys playing
crystal clear. Yeah, and that was awesome to be able to hear y'all. And y'all do such a great job with y'all's show that's what we look forward to is when we go on a road trip on the drive home. You're trying to listen to the show and figure out who did what and and y'all have it, man. Y'all are talking to the coaches. So I really think that's awesome that we can pick y'all up now down here.
Yeah, that's something we made in the off season. Ross Downs and Gene kind of talked about that, and we decided, hey, let's pick up some sponsors. Let's pay a little bit more money, and let's extend down to a little bit further south. And people have reported hearing us in Oakdale and Toledo Bend. I mean, we're down pretty far south of Alexandria, so that's great. We're able to kind of pick up that whole new market. Before you had to use iHeartRadio, and sometimes it's not always the easiest thing to do. But now people get in your cars, turn it on, and we hear a lot of teams, coaches, and even officials. We have a lot of officials that listen to us when they get in their car leaving Alexandria or leaving the Shreveport area. They can pretty much tune us in really well. So we're excited about that, and we've been trying, because of that, we've been trying to give more scores from y'all's area and beyond. Kind of focus on some of those schools like Marksville and Bunkie and Oakdale and some of those schools. And I think it's been a great addition to our show. And like I said, we try to cover more teams. That's the name of the game.
Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight, and looking forward to the playoffs. Really appreciate all you had to say about it. And we'll talk to you again, hopefully in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we're still playing. Yeah, I hope so too, man. Y'all do a great job with this program. I watch you guys and all the content you put out on Facebook every week. Y'all do a great job, and I listen to y'all show and every week. So, man, good luck to y'all this weekend. Well, you're off this week, but good luck to y'all next week and beyond, bud. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks, Clay. All right, awesome, Brent. Clay Parker with the K104 Friday Night Scoreboard Show. He's one of our favorite guests to have on. He's knowledgeable.
Yeah, he knows the game inside and out, Northeast Louisiana and beyond, and just does a terrific job. And you hear him on all the shows, Morning Drive with Aaron Dietrich and Jake Martin, and does a fantastic job there. And they have the Saturday morning show, the locker room show. But yeah, we got in the truck leaving Buckeye High School, turning on 101.9. Right. And we heard it till we got to your house, and I got in my truck, and I heard it all the way to my house. We would have never done that last year. Never. And they do such a great job with their show. Because I love, which we got done so early, that they call people at the games, and the people at the games are giving you play-by-play. Live reports. Yes, of what's happening. We were listening to the, Ruston and West Monroe? Yeah. We're going at it, coming down to the wire. West Monroe was coming back. Gene Poney was giving you play-by-play. He was at the game. Just stuff like that. It's awesome to hear. So we really enjoyed that on the way home Friday night. And when it gets this time of year, the fact they're still doing that show, when you're wanting to hear, okay, who's doing this in the playoffs, that's what you want to hear on Friday night. So really appreciate Clay joining us tonight. We're going to take a break right here. When we come back, we're going to talk about kind of just the season for Gina, what this means as far as making the playoffs in school history. And then we'll get to our area games of the week, and we're still going to be doing pick 'em games as long as we got enough games to pick. So you listen to the walkthrough on 1.7 KJNM.
Justice Oil Company salutes the young men and women who put in long hours and search for athletic supremacy. Justice Oil has been a long supporter of high school athletes in LaSalle Parish, as well as the Tigers of LSU. Take the time to show your appreciation by attending sporting events to root on your teams. Student athletes appreciate the time you take to attend their events. Wishing you the best in the future, on and off the field, from Justice Oil Company.
Louisiana is strong. It's hard work and determination. It's never giving up. It's being there for family, friends, and neighbors because you gave them your word. It's celebrating life's good times and standing tall when times are tough. You call this great state home, and so do we. We're headquartered here with a presence in every parish to better serve you. We're Louisiana's insurance company, Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Hi, I'm Cliff Smith with CLB, the Community Bank. With 20 years of banking experience, I have seen many changes, but one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to help customers with all their financial needs. CLB, the Community Bank, is here to help you, whether it's to open an account, online banking setup, credit card application, home mortgage, consumer, or commercial loan. If you're looking for personal service with real care, come by and see us at CLB, the Community Bank, 2349 North 1st Street, Regina, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Looking for a place to connect and grow? Join us at Eastview Baptist Church, where everyone is welcome. Tune in here to listen to worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30, or come join us in person for Sunday school at 9:45 and worship at 10:45. Eastview, where we seek the kingdom first.
And hand off to Hatcher on the counter play. And there goes Hatcher. And he just runs by the safety. There he goes, 30, 20, and he will stay in, I believe, a touchdown. Yep. They did not step out of bounds. It'll be a touchdown for Daniel Hatcher.
That was our third call of the week, and
crazy stat line. Lines in the game against Buckeye. Cedric Wilson, 7 carries, 100 yards, a touchdown. Daniel Hatcher, 2 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. Deuce McPherson was 4 for 4, 129, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I felt like on that last call of the week, I kind of messed it up at the end. And a big reason why I picked the calls of the week is not necessarily for my call. I like that it's a big play, so we can put the play on social media so people can see the play. But yeah, I had a big night. Daniel did, and the whole offense did. But our calls of the week, really appreciate Catahoula Saw Bank and CLB for sponsoring our calls of the week. They have sponsored those all year. Really appreciate all of our sponsors: Justice Oil, Farm Bureau, Eastview Baptist Church. Really appreciate them sponsoring the show, and we really appreciate CLB for sponsoring our calls of the week. Also thank Zoe Williams, our producer, for being here tonight, running all the graphics. Always keeps it on point, keeps everything flowing, and we've had a great show so far.
Time has been great. I mean, Coach McCartney did a terrific job. Like I said, we could talk all night about football.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to keep. I mean, a couple of years ago, we did a 2-hour show during this week, and I knew if I said that to Zoe, she'd be like, "Oh, I don't know about 2 hours," but we decided to keep it to 1 hour, and Coach McCartney did a great job. Cash Richardson and Parker Durham did a great job, and Clay Parker always does a good job. And yeah, we might have to bring Coach McCartney on again and just to talk for however long it lasts, because there was so much I felt like we wanted to talk about, but we can't go all night, but we'll have to do that again later on. So but let's talk about it is the playoffs, Division III non-select. Go ahead and bring up the bracket where you can bring up a split of the top one versus Gina. Yeah. Okay, so what I want to talk about with the playoffs with Gina, we're the number 1 seed, second time in school history, number 1 seed. This is the 23rd playoff appearance in school history. Before Coach Roark took over, we had 10 playoff appearances in school history. Coach Roark, since he has taken over, we've had 13 straight appearances. This is our 13th straight. This is the 11th consecutive year we have a home playoff game. Our playoff record is 14-22. We have 2 quarterfinals appearances and 2 semifinal appearances. The last 2 years, we've been in the semifinals. Head coach Jay Roark, he is 115-45 in his career, 12-12 in the playoffs. Has a chance to go above 500 on that playoff record. Our senior class. So this is everybody that's in the senior class right now for Gina High School playing football. They have 38 wins, 11 losses. The most wins by a senior class is 39. So they have a chance to break that record.
That's impressive. Impressive numbers all the way out.
And then I have our district standings here. On the district standings, Gina ended up 9-1. We were district champions, 5-0. Bunkie was 9-1. They were 4-1 in district. Bunkie's number 8 team in Division III Select. They did get a first-round bye in the playoffs, so Bunkie is not playing this week because in Select they take 24 teams. Instead of like us, we take 28. Marksville is 8-2. They're the number 9 team in the playoffs. They're in our division, but a great year for Marksville, and they're on our side of the bracket, so you may see them later on. Buckeye, 4-6. They finish 1 spot out of the playoffs. They finished at number 25. If they could have got to 24, they'd be in. Caldwell's 3-7. You heard Clay Parker talk about Coach Cleo Head and Caldwell. The record does not show it. 3-7.
It's a young team.
But they had one of the more difficult schedules in the division, and that's why they're in the playoffs, because I think their strength factor was way up high. But Caldwell is in at number 22. We talked about how they'll play Richwood, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in our area games. And then Vidalia finished 2-8. They finished at number 34 in the power ratings. They're not in the playoffs.
Let's go through some of our season stats on the year. Deuce McPherson, 51 of 93, 1,152 yards, 18 touchdowns on the year. Only 3 interceptions, taking care of the ball really nice this year by Deuce. Cedric Wilson, 156 carries, 1,548 yards, 24 rushing touchdowns, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Daniel Hatcher, 132 carries, 1,336 yards, 20 touchdowns. Zadrian Cooper, 29 catches, 691 yards, 11 touchdowns. Adrian Sharp has done a terrific job all season on those slant routes going across the traffic. 15 receptions, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns. Defensively, Carter Nichols, 54 tackles, 4 tackle for loss, 2 forced fumbles. Jesse Love, 48 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 fumble recovery. Brian Evans, 43 tackles, 2 tackle for loss, 1 interception. Elijah Townsend, 24 tackles, 9 tackle for loss, 1 sack. And Jonas Jenkins, the sophomore, 19 tackles, 4 interceptions, 5 pass deflections.
I was going to talk about it when Coach McCartney was on, and we didn't get to it. And I'm going to go look this weekend. That's been the biggest thing to me is taking care of the football. You see Deuce, only 3 interceptions. I don't know how many fumbles we have, but I want to look at our turnovers we have on offense and how many we forced on defense, because we have to be in the plus side of that big time. It's been the best we've ever had since we've been doing this. But I'm going to try to look at that, get that stat for next week. But that's been one of the biggest things, taking care of the football. Because every time we have a game and I go back and look at the drive summaries, it just says touchdown, 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 touchdown. You don't see interception, fumble. And there's sometimes, even with good teams, good offenses, you have a fumble here or there or an interception somewhere. And this year we've just done such a great job taking care of the football. And it's just been amazing to watch this offense. Are you good on all that? You want to go to area games?
Let's get into the area games this week.
Area games. How about those LaSalle Tigers? The number 22 seed. They will be at number 11 Elton Friday night. Coach Hunter Johnson and staff, they are excited, pumped up. They're in the playoffs this year. They just missed it last year. Have a game against Elton, Have a good game there.
We're defeated by Montgomery 36-32 this past week. Elton, they have a good running back there. I think top 5 in the state in rushing yards. So that'll be tough going on the road at Elton. Elton looks pretty good offensively.
Yeah, Elton always. I don't know what offense they run, but I always see them having running backs in the top of the state as far as rushing yardage. So they obviously run something where it's more run oriented than passing. But LaSalle with Tough Street and those guys.
Yeah.
They could pull off the upset, go down the road in South Louisiana and take on Elton. It'd be fun to watch there. Number 23 Northeast is at number 10 Faraday. I feel like these two teams might have played each other last year in the first round, or I feel like I've seen where these teams have played before. But Faraday, they will be able to play on their field Friday night.
Finally, after a month or so not being able to play on their own field, having to play big time games on the road, had to go to Oak Grove when it was supposed to be at home, and I can't remember the other game that was supposed to be at home that had to go on the road.
They played at Vidalia this past Friday. I think beat Rayville maybe, but it had to be played at Vidalia High School.
So that's big for them guys, especially the seniors, getting to play back at their home field. I think they probably may win the game against Oak Grove if they play that game at home. I mean, it was close. 13-6 was the final, so that could be the difference maker.
And wasn't it last year they were the team that they had a fight on the sideline and they were out of the playoffs, had to forfeit the playoffs because of that. So Faraday is ready to play some football in the playoffs. And now knowing they can be at home, I say watch out for Faraday in that division. This is a pick'em game. Number 19, Cedar Creek at number 14, St. Fred, the K104 game of the week. We'll talk about it a little bit more later on. This is also a pick'em game. Number 18, Delta Charter at number 15, St. Martin's. Number 20, Thomas Jefferson is at number 13, Menard. Menard gets a home playoff game.
Yeah, Menard with a good season. Let's see if they can make some waves in the playoffs.
District rematch. Number 25, Winfield at number 8, Mansfield. I think Mansfield beat them like 52-22 in the regular season.
Yeah, put it on them pretty good. I see Mansfield winning that game pretty easily.
And then this is the game where we will play the winner of number 17, St. Helena at number 16 of Wolves. And that's a pick'em game, so we'll talk about it more later. Number 21, Rayville at number 12, Union Parish. Definitely think when it comes to playoff time, you gotta bet on Union Parish.
Yeah, you always got to respect Union Parish and Coach Spatafora on the job. I mean, they play a tough schedule. They play the 5A teams early on. Everybody says Union Parish is taking a step back, but do you have a good gauge of really where Union Parish is at this point?
Well, to me, them taking a step back is different than other teams taking a step back.
I mean, they got blew out by Sterlington. Sterlington had a running clock, but how many teams? Sterlington is so good. Like how many teams?
Would have been in the same situation.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think even Union Parish taking a step back, they're still better than a lot of teams in the bracket.
Definitely.
So you got to watch out for them. This is a pick'em game. Number 22, Caldwell at number 11, Richwood. Number 27, Port Allen at number 6, Oak Grove.
That's a long trip.
Yeah, and we saw Port Allen last year, which I think that star player for them, he was a senior last year. But Oak Grove, and they jump up to number 6 after the big win against OCS. Number 26, Abbeville at number 7, Franklin Parish. We're all in on the Patriots.
Yep.
Number 21, Wassman at number 12, Minden. Very popular upset pick.
Yeah, Clay Parker had as a potential upset.
Number 20, Carroll at number 13, Cecilia. Cecilia, did they win it last year? They were the runner-ups. They won it 2 years ago, I believe, in Division II non-select. And I think last year they made a run. I can't remember if they lost or where they were at last year. And like Clay Parker said, every team in 2-5A made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Even number 24, Pineville, who will be at number 9, St. Paul's. So every team there, Pineville has a playoff game Friday night, but I think St. Paul's wins that one. Number 21, West Washita at number 12, East Ascension. Got to give it to West Washita. They had a down year coming off their great year last year, but they still made the playoffs. But I think that's all East Ascension there. This is a pick'em game. Number 19, Santa Ma at number 14, Washita. We'll talk about it a little bit more later. Number 23, South Lafourche at number 10, West Monroe.
That's a long trip.
Yeah, and I think you got to go Rebels on that one.
Oh, yeah, easily.
And then number 24, Patterson is at number 9, Marksville. District opponent for us. Not the Patterson of old like we were talking about earlier. I think Marksville rolls in that one.
I think all Marksville there.
Let's get to our pick'em games. I am 32-18. Brant is 37-13. I think we both went 4-1 last week. We picked the same games last week. Our first pick'em game is number 19, Cedar Creek at number 14, St. Fred.
Give me St. Fred.
I did not realize how much of an improvement Cedar Creek had done until I looked into this game. Cedar Creek, it wasn't just the schedule. Coach Angevine has done a great job there, and they have improved. I agree. I'm going to St. Fred, though. Number 18, Delta Charter at number 15, St. Martin's. Oh, this was a tough one.
Yeah.
And what gets me is if this game's at Delta Charter, I pick them easily.
That's right.
But it's St. Martin's, looking at the schedule, had not really beaten anybody impressive. I really want Delta Charter to go down there and pull it off. But that trip is so hard. I'm gonna go Delta Charter. I'm gonna do it.
I was gonna go opposite whatever you went, but
so you're going St. Martin's now?
Well, I'm going Delta Charter. I thought you was going St. Martin.
In my heart, it says Delta Charter.
Yeah.
I think Coach Wheeler and Delta Charter can pull it off. Go get it done, Storm. Number 17, St. Helena at number 16 of Wolves.
I go with St. Helena.
This truly is a game I could see going either way because I think St. Helena has the more talent. but we were talking about it earlier. Avoy's just a weird place to play.
Run the football.
And yeah, and if
take
they
time off the clock.
Yeah, control the clock. Oh, I'm gonna go with St. Helena though, just because I think they're more talented. Another one here where I want to pick the upset: Caldwell at Richwood. Number 22 Caldwell at number 11 Richwood. Anytime you see where it's a short trip, teams are familiar with each other. I like to pick those upsets. But looking at Richwood and what Coach Geis has done there this year, I mean, Richwood scored a lot of points on Tioga. Yeah. I got to go Richwood.
Yeah, Richwood.
This game, when I looked into it, everybody thinks, Ouachita had the tough losses, the close losses, and everything. Well, that's the team I'm going to pick to make a run. St. Amant is not bad. They have played a good schedule. They've won some big games. And I hope for Coach Lewis's sake, this does not happen. But it would not surprise me to see Ouachita lose in the first round because St. Amant is very good. It's not an easy game.
Yeah, I mean, Ouachita's played such a talented schedule, 2-5A. I mean, just think how close they've been week in and week out with some of the toughest teams in the state of Louisiana. Got to go with Ouachita. I think Wydell Clark and them guys, MJ Dade, I think they're going to turn it on. This is their year to prove themselves, to prove something, get into playoffs, win a couple of games. I think they get the job done.
I'm going Ouachita because I want for Coach Lewis. I want him to win this game. But I'm just saying, if you turn on the television or the radio and you see that it's a close game and St. Amant's giving them a good game, don't be surprised. I can see that being a close game there. So that's it. So I picked Ouachita as well. So I think we picked all the same. So sorry about that. No fun there.
I kind of figured we would.
Yeah. When it gets into the playoffs, it's hard.
Especially the first round.
Yeah, it's hard to find pick'em games. As it goes on, there'll be more games to pick. So we really appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Coach McCartney, Cash Richardson, Parker Durham, Clay Parker. Appreciate Zoe being here working tonight. And it is playoff time, man. It's just my favorite time of the year. We could talk all night about this just because we love all of this.
I love walking into the stadium and it's dark and the lights are on a Friday night. It's playoff time, just cold.
I got all the brackets pulled up here on this computer. Yeah. I could talk another hour about brackets, but we're not going to do it.
It's just something special about it.
So, no game Friday night. So, what you going to do Friday night? What's the plan?
I don't know yet. Waiting to see. Maybe try to go to the LSU game Saturday. I'm still
kind of really.
Yeah. Tickets are cheap, man.
Who cares? Who wants to watch that at this point? I was
the kids experience it.
Okay, I can see that. No, that's true. I know I was gonna say back in our younger years we'd be at a game. Yeah. We'd be somewhere, but probably not. Probably not Friday night. Probably gonna enjoy the night off. Yeah. So get to spend some time with the family.
And really, I mean, all the marquee matchups are not in play because most of you big teams have bye weeks. So
yeah, really. I mean, there's some games I wouldn't mind seeing, but what's awesome is you have internet. You can watch them on your TV now.
That's what I'm gonna be doing.
We'll probably be doing that as well. So, hope everybody enjoy the show, and we'll be back Wednesday night next week. We'll know who we're playing. We'll get you set for the second round playoff game, and we'll have another lineup for you. Well, I'm sure we'll hear from Coach Roart next week. We'll have some more players, and we'll have to figure out who our special guest is. It may depend on who wins the St. Helena Avoy's game. Right. So, for Brant King, I'm Austin Watley. You've been listening to The Walkthrough 100.7